Hello again, fellow YouTubers. Parrot Dragon back for another what's been a long-awaited Cardfight Vanguard deck review. And I'm going to be reviewing my third deck that I think is now complete. My Tachikaze build, and as you can see, I am using the Raptors series. So, this is my review or look at my Tachikaze deck that I call Release the Raptors. Obviously. Okay, so we're going to start with the starting Vanguard, which is, of course, Military Dragon Raptor Soldier, because I use the Raptor Ride Chain. Pretty straightforward, and it does what most Grade 0 Ride Chain starters do. Basically, when it's ridden by the Grade 1, in this case, Raptor Sergeant, you can look at the top 7 cards for Military Dragon Raptor Captain, which is the Grade 2, or Military Dragon Raptor Colonel, which is the Grade 3. Reel it and show it, and if it's written by something other than Raptor Sergeant, call it to rear guard. Pretty straightforward. Let you read that. And all these things are pretty much dino dragons or something along the line. I would have just said dinosaurs, but oh well. It's a rare. Alright. Next, we have triggers. I run 3 of the herbivorous dragon, the Brontosaurus. I think that's how you say that. And I only run 3 of these because I just run 3 of them, I guess. Draw trigger. Now, I use draw triggers instead of stand triggers in my Tachikaze deck, mainly because, well, I guess I can kind of explain that more later when I'm reviewing Colonel himself, but this is basically just your standard draw trigger. Not much more to be said there. I also run 4 Carrier Trilobites. So in total, I run 7 draw triggers. Why 7? I'll show you in a second, guess. Again, you can read the text there and whatnot. Yeah, there we go. Pretty straightforward. Another draw trigger. Another common. Pretty simple. Next, I run 2 Black Cannon Tigers. Now, this was a last-minute decision to throw in here, mainly because of its ability. When it's on rearguard, if this unit attack hits during the battle that this unit boosted, you may soul charge 1 and return this unit to your deck. Now, why I use that is for a specific reason. Say I have already ridden to Colonel, but I failed to complete the ride chain. Say I place this bad boy on the field and it hits, and I soul charge and I get Captain in the soul. Now Colonel has that +1, because it doesn't say you need to ride from Captain, you just need to have him in the soul. And also that gives me a critical I can put back in. So it's one of those, you do something and I go back into the deck. It's a hit and run thing, which I think is okay, but I don't want to focus my deck on it, so that's why I only run 2 of it. It's kind of a last resort thing. I also run... yeah, that's right. 3 Dragonbird Firepetrix. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. So, total of 5 critical triggers, and that's why there are 7 draw triggers. Because originally it was supposed to be 4 and 8. But I made a last-minute decision there. And this is a very common critical trigger. Love its design, though. It's just guns ablaze everywhere. And that's kind of what I like about this deck. It's got a lot of heavy hitting, just rapid fire stuff. It's really cool. And finally, my 4 heal triggers, because if you don't use heal triggers in a Cardfight Vanguard deck, which I know someone doesn't, that person knows who he is, probably. But, yeah. 4 Savage Shamans. I use this one because I personally just like this heal trigger. Because it's actually a person and, yeah, see, human. better than the... I just think this heal trigger is more appealing. It's kind of cool, I guess. Pretty straightforward heal. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, moving on to my grade 1s. Get it over with. My one perfect guard for this deck is Arcbird, because that's the only perfect guard. I explained already why I only use one in my Grand Blue deck review. You can take a look at that if you wish. And most of these perfect guards are double rares anyway, so pretty straightforward. Yeah, that's it. Not gonna gripe on that too much. 4, I run 4 Raptor Sergeants. Now, that's pretty obvious as to why. Again, this is the Raptor Ride Chain, so you're going to need 4 of each of the grades except for the grade 0. Now, here's what the Raptors do, besides their little get +1 for each one you have in the soul. When Raptor Captain rides to Raptor Sergeant, and you have Raptor Soldier in the soul, you can call one Raptor Sergeant from a rear guard to a rear guard from your deck. Doesn't have to be look for one, you just can call one. So basically, if you complete the ride chain, you can manage to get out an extra Raptor Captain and an extra Raptor Sergeant, which is actually really good if you don't have grade 1s to boost. And it's also really good when you want to use Colonel's ability, because it's just like, okay, now I have things to kill off. Again, pretty straightforward. The common, as usual, blah blah blah. Next, and this was a change that I recently made after my deck's debut at the shop yesterday, I now run 3 Winged Dragon Beam Taros. I originally ran 4, but then I decided after my deck's not so stellar performance, and maybe that's just because my luck was off that day, but I decided to change up a couple things, and this was one of the things where I kind of dropped 1 just because I felt the need to do that. So, Beam Taro is going to be like his grade 2 counterpart, which I will show in a little bit. During battle phase, when he's put in the drop zone from rear guard, I may choose a Tachikaze unit and give it +3. So basically, when I explain Colonel's ability, that's going to come in handy. And just like his grade 2 counterpart, he's also a rare. Pretty simple. I don't want to know where that laser is coming from. I just realized this today. I don't want to know what that laser is technically supposed to represent. I mean, it's kind of dirty. Anywho. And then I run 4 of the Sonic Noah 8K Beat Stick. Yeah. Again, pretty straightforward because I don't see any other grade 1s that I ever really feel like using, so I just use Sonic Noah. And Beam Taro's pretty good. If you feel like using 4 of them, that isn't that bad of an idea, but I just use 4 of these guys because it's a beat stick. And also, he's really good for boosting Colonel. He's the best choice. Now on to grade 2s. We got 2 Savage Destroyers. I kind of thought of taking him out, but after reconsideration, I felt like, you know what, let's just take out something else and keep this guy in there because he might still be useful. And here's why he's useful. During the turn, when another of your Tachikaze rear guards is put in the drop zone, this unit gets +1 until the end of the turn. Giving Raptor Colonel's ability, he's a 10k beat stick when Raptor Colonel uses his ability. So that's actually kind of okay, but I don't, again, trust it that much where I want to put 4 of him in there. As a matter of fact, my grade 2, the grade 2 lineup is kind of all over the place, and that's kind of a problem. So this may be a deck that I might re-air as a different video if I ever mess with it again. So you got that. Next, something else that I changed recently. I originally had 2, but now I have 3 Winged Dragon Splash Taros, which, as you can see, is the grade 2 counterpart to Winged Dragon Beam Taro. So I felt like, yeah, you know what, let's just have 3 and 3. That seems like a better idea. Does the exact same thing as Beam Taro. When retired from a rear guard during battle phase, give +3 to something. So again, when I explain Colonel's ability, that's gonna kinda explain why also rare. Stuff common. Blah. The only thing consistent about my deck now, for grade 2s that is, I have 4 Military Dragon Raptor Captains. Again, considering I use the Colonel Ride Chain, that kind of explains why. Now besides the, oh hey, Sergeant's in the soul, I get +1. Anyway, other than that, when Colonel rides Captain, and you have Sergeant in the soul, you may call another captain from your deck to rearguard. Kind of the same thing as Sergeant. Basically, when Sergeant is written to Captain, call another Sergeant. When Colonel rides Captain, call another Captain. So in other words, I get another copy of him on a rearguard. Pretty simple. Also rare. Unlike other ride chains where the 0 was a rare, the 1 was a common, and the 2 was a double rare, this is just a rare, which I like. It's cost effective. Which you know me. I prefer cost effective stuff. Next, I only run 2 of the 10k vanilla beat stick. Mainly because I want to be able to give my deck as many options as it can when it comes to retiring units. So I only run 2 because, again, my grade 2s are kind of all over the place. Ravenous Dragon Megarex. Not much else I can say. He's a rare. That's pretty much it. Read that and whatnot. And finally, I run 2 Cannon Fire Dragon Cannon Gears. Because I kind of like their ability. It's actually an okay ability. When he's called to rearguard, I need to retire a rearguard. Which isn't that good, but say I have Destroyer on the field, or say I may have Beam Terror on the field, I'm not sure it is. What I know for certain is if I have Destroyer on the field, Destroyer now gets another 1. So Destroyer's at 9 by himself. And this thing hits for 11. That's actually pretty good. Especially on rearguard, considering most Vanguards are now able to swing in for 11. When this thing gets boosted then, that's actually a pretty good attack. So I run 2 of those. Now for my grade 3 lineup. I originally was going to have 4, but I decided to make room for 3 Savage War Chiefs. Blech. I run 3 mainly because I don't necessarily... I realize that there's some other stuff that I can also use, which I'll show in a bit, and also I don't necessarily often like consistency, sometimes I like variety. And he's got that skill where when this unit is boosted by Tachikaze on rearguard or vanguard, you get +2. So he can be a 12k beat stick when he wants to. Now I don't run 4 because again, you don't use his ability that much when... You don't use it that much, but I still use it a majority more because it's an okay ability at least. So if I can't ride to Colonel, I can't ride to this guy or my next person. I run 1 Tyrant Deathrex. And I just do this just because I feel like he deserves a spot in there. Just because he's pretty cool, and also his Vanguard ability wouldn't be that bad if he was ridden to. Now granted, that doesn't necessarily happen that much, but it's a 15 attack, so if they block it, I don't lose anything, but if they don't, I get to retire a rearguard, say that Splash Tarot or Beam Tarot. That's another +3 to something that hasn't attacked yet. Pretty straightforward, another rare, blah blah blah. And I just feel like he deserves to be in this deck. He just deserves it, because he's cool. Finally, big star of the deck. Big star. I run 4 Military Dragon Raptor Colonels. That shouldn't be a surprise, actually. He's the big star of the deck in this one, of Release the Raptors. What he does. Besides his constant +1, due to the fact that if I've completed the ride chain, so he's already an 11k, he has this. His limit break ability is Counterblast 1, retire 2 Tachikaze rearguards, and when this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, increase your power by the sum of the original power of the units retired from battle. So, it goes like this. Let's say, for example, I've retired 2 Savage War Chiefs. And say I completed the ride chain, I'm now at 31. Boosted by Noah, that's 39. Say I retire 2 Winged Dragon Splash Taros, and give the +3s both here. For each Splash Tarot, that's an extra 6, so that's 28. That's 34. Plus the +1, that's 35. And if boosted by Noah, like I usually do, that swings in for 43. So yeah, he can... I haven't seen how far he can... I haven't really checked how far he can go up, but he can hit the 40s pretty well. So this guy is an uber attack, so either you're gonna have to... Either you're gonna just perfect guard it, or you're going to take this damage, because he swings in for a lot, and if you somehow manage to guard it, there's still triggers that are on the way, because he's a twin drive. And all for the counterblast of 1. I'd say that's really good, because then I can use that 4 times. Now, granted, you need stuff on rear guard. This is where the draw triggers come in. Granted, I can't, because I can't really restand stuff that isn't there. So I use draw triggers so that the next turn I can call more stuff and then do the same thing. Pretty straightforward. Now, some could argue with this, but this is the type that I use. So, there's my Tachikaze build, Release the Raptors. And I'm going to say that I tried this build out today with a couple of different things, like I only had 2 Splash Taros, I had 4 Beam Taros. It didn't go the best, and maybe that's just because I'm a bad player, but I think this is an okay build. I'll admit the grade 2s are a little messed up and should be more consistent maybe, but I also like variety. I like switching up my battle plan every now and then. Have any questions about this deck or any of my other decks, just put it in the comments below. Pretty straightforward if any of you actually watch this. So, this has been Paradragon, and I'm not going to be doing deck reviews probably for a while, because I have 3 more decks that are built. I'll say that. I have 3 more built. They're not, like, at their peak yet. 2 of my decks only need 2 more cards, and my last deck needs 4. So that's a total of, like, 8 that I still need. But it's getting there. It's really getting there. So I'm almost done needing to collect this. Again, gonna hopefully try to do another box opening. I doubt that's gonna happen, though, due to the fact that, again, money issues. I'm not gonna go into detail on that. If you really want to see another box opening, or you want to see these card fight videos come out faster, please show your support in the comments. Just show your support in the comments. That would really just make my day and make me feel a whole lot better about the situation. And maybe, hopefully, convince a way to deal with the money problems. I'm griping too much. I'm complaining too much about my own problems. You don't want to hear this. You want to hear about card fight. So, that's pretty much all I got. That's been Release the Raptors, and let's see how long this video was. Oh, only 17 minutes. That's not bad. I've got nothing else really to say. And for this lineup, actually, unlike my past 2 where I had a specific lineup, this is one of the few decks where I don't really have a lineup made out. I just know that I need Raptor Colonel on Vanguard and some stuff on Rearguard to kill off. Because Raptor Colonel will blow you up then. Pretty simple. Alright, I've almost hit the 18-minute mark. This has been Paradragon, signing off.